Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome to the Hangin' with Web Show live right here on HWWS Web TV. Wow. And we're watching from our brand new studio inside of our new home. I'm GW Pomacher, and there I am. That was not GW Pomacher, I want for the record. And all of you out there who watch the show all the time are now going to start with the GW Pomacher jokes. Go ahead. It's okay. Because tonight, that's what we want to talk to you all about. We're coming to you from the new studio, the new set, and we're going to talk a little bit about our families. And we're going to talk about those family members, those little, yes, man, GW has changed. Thank you, Terry MacGyver, all the way from Ireland. He came all the way from Ireland to tell me that. Great. We're going to talk about our families and the role that our pets play in our families and becoming part of the family. In keeping us healthy and keeping us our mental health up, and the role that love and attention and affection has. And to do that, we have a very special guest. We're going to have our pets a little bit on the show tonight, including this little guy right here. There he is. This is HWWS Web TV's Mooshu. Say hi, Mooshu. Say hi. Okay. He doesn't want to say anything. Okay, that's fine. But we're gonna be talking about Mooshu and all of our pets here at HWWS Web TV. But we're going to be joined tonight by a very special guest, Hanging with Web Show's a new friend, and someone that we think you're going to really enjoy hearing from. You have been seeing our guest since about 1998, and whether you know her from the HBO miniseries Sharp Objects in 2018, or perhaps from the CBC 2009 Being Erica. This person has been coming into your home, on your screen, into your home since 1998. And whether you recognize her from the Sci-Factor Chronicles from 1998 or from her most recent appearance in Sci-Fi's Winona, she's a member of your family. She comes into your home and talks to you. And tonight we're going to talk about her family and her pets and her journey. And so please welcome to the screen, Hanging with Web Show's newest friend, Reagan Pasternak. Hi, Reagan.
How's it going? So happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad that you are. It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. And, guys, Reagan is not only an actress and a singer, and we'll talk about those things tonight, but she's also an author. And she is the author of Griffin's Heart, Mourning Your Pet Without Apologies. And we're going to talk about how important it is to go through the grieving and the mourning process when you lose a pet, and because of the roles they play in our lives, guys. So, Reagan, thank you for hanging out with us tonight a little bit.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
This has been a whirlwind for you. I know we've been seeing podcast after podcast after web show after everything, talking about the new book. Yeah. So let's kind of catch up first, though. Before we dive into the book, let's catch up a little bit. Okay. You have been appearing on people's television screens for 20 plus years now.
Shh, don't say
yeah. Look, she's only 12. I don't know how this happened. She's got a TARDIS. She travels back in time to do these great things. How did you first get into acting? Did you get? I mean, obviously before your debut on television, you were doing stuff. So tell us a little bit about your journey.
Oh, it's so funny how things happen. But my sister went to a singing lesson when I was a kid. I tagged along. I sang in the lesson. I was probably 6 or 7, and from there, my parents were like, "Oh, there's something to this, maybe." And I just started, being very strict about studying music and the arts, theater arts in general. And I just did that for years and years. I did some commercials and stuff like that as a kid, and then went to college for musical theater, actually. And then right out of college, pretty much, I got a couple little parts right away. And then I got a lead in a Disney series called In a Heartbeat. And then things just kind of took off from there. And it's just kind of been my love. I'm so lucky to love my work. So
that's fantastic. And what's great about that is you hit it right from the minute one. Was you got started into this, and your parents kind of looked and said, "Oh, there's something here. This is something she loves." And having a career in the arts, especially, that supportive family is so important to success.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was such a shy kid, that I don't know if I would have stuck with it if I didn't have them behind me, kind of, pushing me sometimes, really hard to, just be my best. But I'm actually really grateful for that, because it really is what I love to do. And so I never, you need perseverance in this business. There's so many ups and downs. So that taught me a lot of perseverance growing up.
All right, so what I'm hearing here is that being a YouTube, I should actually tell my parents that this is what I do. They should know.
That is
so, I love that you've done so many parts in so many properties, and you talked a little bit about the 2000 Disney's In a Heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
That got you started. Guys, I want to say this because I know a lot of creative artists come and go from watching this show in the chat and the live feed and whatever, because we're a creative arts show. And I know that you guys are coming and going. I have to show you all this because, Reagan has been doing this now for 20 years. And if you want to have a career like that, guys, you got to be able to roll with the punches. So showing that she has the stuff to be a great character actress with duration, here's a little bit of something from In a Heartbeat.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna love these. Yeah.
See, she's been taking the pie in the face for 20 years now. She's got a great sense of humor.
It's crazy. Oh my God. I can't believe I just saw that. I remember that day. Oh my God.
Do you really? Tell us about that day. Tell us a little bit about that day. First of all, how do you do a scene with be excited about a scene when you're going to take a pie in the face?
I mean, that's fun. But come on. What kind of job do you get paid for to get a pie in the face? And
that's true.
And and it was, that little team of actors. I mean, I say little team, it was a huge team. It was a Disney show, but everybody was so close on that show, and it was just such a great learning experience for me. And it was really put me in the fire right away. I remember saying to Shawn Ashmore, who was my co-star at the time, I said, how do we do this? How do you memorize all these lines right before you go on? Because with the series, you're getting new scripts constantly. And you had to learn quick. So it was awesome.
Wow, that is awesome. It really is. And so, I mean, you got started young,
mm-hmm.
and Disney, you got to learn from the best people around.
Mm-hmm.
They make things that nobody else even knows can be made.
True, actually, that's true. They've been good to me throughout the years too. I love Disney. They've been great to me. That
is awesome. But now you're also a singer, and you said you got your start in musical theater, and before that, hijacking your sister's singing. So
she doesn't hate me for that. I've never asked her.
Never. I wouldn't. That may not be the conversation that you want to have. I mean, it could be. I don't know. Maybe she's like, yeah, she's done all these great things now. It all started when she stole that one.
She's doing great.
That's awesome. That is fantastic. Guys, again, we love to hit the books, as it were, and do a little bit of research here and there. So we did manage to find an acting job where we get to see Reagan sing. So, guys, here we go. This is from 2009's CBC Being Erica, for which I believe, Reagan, you were nominated for a Gemini Award.
I'm 3, but who's counting? Nobody's counting.
3, just 3, just this 3 little ones. They're just little awards, guys. That's by the way, if you guys don't know that, it's the Canadian version of the Emmys, or the Gemini Awards. So here we go. We get to hear a little bit of Reagan singing.
Thanks.
Like a lightning bolt, your heart will glow, and when it's time, you'll know. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just own the night like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, lay your colors burst and make 'em go
See, acting chops and pipes.
Goodness.
You gotta love it, guys.
I can't. You literally just brought a tear out of my eye because that's so sweet that oh my goodness. Anyway, that was such a special show, and I just loved being on that show maybe more than any other show, and that's so sweet to see that. Yeah.
Well, it was great to be able to find those particular clips because we wanted to get one very early on in your career, and one that demonstrated your singing voice. Because again, the length and the transition from one art to another, and now you are an author. And when we come back on the other side of the commercial break, we're going to talk about your book and the role that pets and have played in your family and being supportive to you in your career as you've grown. So, guys, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back on the other side of this, we're going to talk to Reagan about her book and family and even more. So stay tuned in and stay logged on because we'll be right back.
Are you looking for a special friend? One who loves you unconditionally.
16,000 animals are euthanized every day. If we know that breeders and puppy mills are profiting while hurting our animals, we need to stop funding their business.
A live animal isn't a status symbol or a fashion statement. It's no longer cool to carry around your puppy in a pink purse. Invite love into your home by bringing new life to an animal in need.
This is an opportunity for you to be part of the greater good, to be part of the solution. We can't keep buying our dogs while thousands are waiting for us in shelters.
Team up with us and help spread the word that the coolest thing to do is rescue a life. Before you buy your next pet, please take a look around at your local shelter.
Please, stop buying animals. Be part of positive change. Adopt.
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun, from comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pop. Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun, from comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items. Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
In the summer of 1953, private investigator Will Lucky Marks was working as the in-house private eye for Arcane Pacific Pictures. Trapped inside the studio with the killer, Lucky must find the killer before time runs out. Lot 28. Own it today. Available iTunes and Amazon.com.
This is Cosplay Michael with the Hangin with Web Show. I want to tell you about my friends at Embellis Effects in Orlando, Florida. They've got makeup, costumes, and props for all of your costume needs. And the team at Embellis Effects is helpful and friendly. Embellis Effects is one of my favorite places, and I know it will be yours too. I'll see you there. Or go to embelliseffects.com. And remember, cosplay is for everyone.
And we're back, everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. We are hanging in the studio with Reagan Pasternak. And in the last segment, we got to talk a little bit about acting and a little bit about music and her journey. But, you know, a journey that has been as successful as yours, Reagan, means a lot of support from the sidelines, from family and friends. And it means someone to go home to and cuddle with. And you've had that special pet in your life. And you know, tell us a little bit about what that has meant for you on your journey.
Having animals in my life?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, they are just completely unconditional love. They're just happiness. And, you know, you come home from a hard day and they're never in a bad mood. They're always going to just be there for you. And I mean, who doesn't need that, really? Everything in life is so crazy, especially during the pandemic and all of that. And you know, pets are this constant, and it's just so important. I think I'm such a huge advocate for that, having an animal in your life.
Absolutely. And, it is, and, you mentioned the pandemic, and we all got kind of trapped at home for a year and a half. And we didn't get to see our normal social circles. So the people in our lives that we would normally rely on to keep our head on our shoulders just weren't there. They couldn't be, not by choice, but by chance, as it were. And, and so having a pet at home, someone to vent to when you're upset, and they don't judge. They just stare at you can go stark raving mad about the that job, that gig that you were supposed to do that got canceled because of the pandemic, and you're just crazy, and your dog just looks at you like, well, she's at it again. Yep, she's lost her mind again. It's okay. Let's brush up against her. She'll be better.
and you are so much better when they're just there for you. It's just amazing. You can have a bloated fat day. You can have the world can be in a global pandemic, and they are just always in the present moment and remind you to kind of stay in the present moment too.
Yeah, it grounds. I think it grounds you
100%.
to you look at their faces, and they don't have the news, and they don't have the social media, and they don't have the constant pressures on them. They just stare at you like you've lost your mind, and I have no idea why.
But I'll kiss you, and maybe that'll make you better, or I'll snuggle.
That's right, and it always does. Yes, it always does. So, okay, so let's dive into the book. You transitioned from acting and singing now as an author. First of all, let's talk a little bit about the transition from one set of creative art skills to a whole nother set. As an author myself, I can tell you there is one thing I will never do, and that's act.
That's funny.
But so what was that transition like for you, exercising a new set of creative muscles?
Listen, it was definitely new, and it was the effort. It was so different because it was so new for me. It was so, I had to be so diligent about and disciplined. But I don't know. I never really even thought of it. I know I'm going to venture into this. I knew I wanted to write this specific book. I still have a hard time accepting, I am an author now. I mean, technically, yes, I guess I am an author, but I just wanted to write this book. This book was in my bones and in my heart, and I had to get it out. And I don't know. I'm also a storyteller. I'm a huge reader, and so maybe it was just meant to be all of it. But it was definitely different. It was different, and I had to be really, really strong with myself when I really decided to finish it and make it the best it could be.
That is awesome, and because that's what at our core, guys. If you're a creative artist, that's what you are. You're a storyteller. If you are a writer, you're telling a story. If you're an actor, a musician, that's what we do. We tell story. Painters, you tell a story, and I don't know how those guys do it. They do it in one frame. What it takes the rest of us pages and pages and dialogue and everything to do. They do it in one frame. And musicians, I have a great deal of respect for musicians because what it takes me 250 pages to tell a story, and some musician will come along and go, I can do that in 3 minutes.
So amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's an amazing gift.
I agree.
But and as storytellers, one of the things we like to do though is tell our truth. And so let's talk about that. You took something very painful and very personal, and told your story. And so let's talk a little bit about what that was like to sit down and start typing page 1, knowing that you were about to start this very personal story.
Yeah, so it started, I'd lost my beloved, I call him my soulmate animal, Griffin. And I was so completely devastated. And I've gone through a lot of loss in my life and a lot of sad life experiences. But this one, somehow I couldn't shake. And it was hard because, society doesn't always accept it as a valid form of grief. And so very quickly, the limit that I was supposed to be sad was kind of, looked on as society like, okay, it's over now. It's been a week or been even a few days. It should be over. And I was really suffering, honestly. And that actually, that made me feel more isolated and made me feel more alone. And I really remember feeling like part of my heart was broken. And I I tried so hard to get rid of this pain, but it just wouldn't go away. And gradually I ended up having some insomnia. There was a bunch of other things going on in my life. And I ended up seeing somebody to help me sleep. I just wanted medicine to help me sleep. And this is kind of how it all started. And this doctor kind of didn't just write me a prescription. She kind of cut through, my childhood, all these things that had happened in my life and the loss of Griffin. And she took it seriously, and she really compared the reasons why I loved this animal so much to what had happened in, all my life experiences. And, when we love anybody, be it a person or an animal, it's because of who we are and who they are, but also who we are and where we are in that part of our life. And so her validation of that pain just made me feel so strong and comfortable in that moment. And I just knew I wanted to write, and I wanted to just write out just that experience of being validated. And I wanted to write out the memories of the years that I'd had with Griffin. And I just started writing. I didn't really know what it was going to be. And it took a really long time because I didn't know what I wanted the book to be. I was like, is this a memoir? Is this, what is it? And so I'd stop, and then I'd write some more, and I'd meet somebody else who'd gone through the same thing and was feeling the exact same way. And then I'd go back to it. And then, it took a long time. And then finally it clicked. It all clicked that I knew I wanted it to be very interactive. I didn't want it to just be a book. I wanted it to be a keepsake. I wanted it to be a shared experience with whoever was reading. And maybe that's part of being an actress, just that kind of need to communicate always. I always feel that need to have deep conversations, and I always say I'm an introvert, but I love having one-on-ones or just love having real conversations. So the book started becoming a conversation with the person in mourning and exploring what it meant to love an animal and lose an animal. And so it just started all coming together. I don't even know if this is exactly what you asked, but that's kind of.
No, it is. It is because, so much of what you're talking about sounds like it went from not knowing what to do with your grief to sort of journaling, your memories and your, grief. And then again, maybe like you said, maybe it's the actress in you that said, hey, my journal can be more of it could be a dialogue instead of a monologue. Here's my journal entry. What's your story? Because, when you talk to someone, when you're grieving a loved one of any kind, I think when you talk to someone, I think it's a natural instinct of someone to say, I empathize with you because that's like when I lost my loved one. Yes. And it's sort of the natural sort of fallback position is I don't know what to say because I have no idea what to say to you because I know you're grieving, but I can empathize. I lost someone too, and this is how I handled it. And so turning your journaling into more of a dialogue, your journal entry and then my feelings of where I am.
Exactly.
You just became someone that empathizes with what I'm going through. And I think that's an important part of any kind of storytelling, but it's something we don't see a lot in book format because, my job as an author a lot of the times is just to get the narrative out there and to send you on a journey and hope that you hop along for the ride. It's an interesting take to have you say, here's my journey. Tell me a little bit about your journey now. And even though you're not there to see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and something I've really realized about grief, because I used to think, animal grief is so isolating. And actually what I've realized, I lost my mom. We've lost a friend in the last, few years, which has been terrible. And you realize grief all across the board is misunderstood. People do have their, you have to cultivate your own space to grieve. And because I do think it's important. You can't pretend that something's not painful, just because you have, a job the next day. That's not how our bodies work. And that's not how our minds work. And we retain this pain. And if we don't tend to it and communicate it, even if it's just with ourselves, just get it out and figure it out, then I think that it can manifest in ways that aren't helpful for us. Even if it's something simple like just building walls so we're not able to love quite the same as we did before we have had a loss. And it's also just cultivating a space for yourself to grieve and to dedicate some time to an animal that did so much for you, so it's, after somebody dies, there's this feeling of incompletion and this feeling of, okay, so that life is just done and now moving on, and it doesn't feel right. And it's so strange. And I feel personally, from all the losses I've encountered, even since Griffin and other animals who I loved so much, that I just didn't think they deserved that. I think they deserve to be remembered and honored. And how do you do that? Where's the map to do that? So
yeah,
because I'm a nerd,
it is,
yeah.
and it is really, it's a very pet grief especially is a very misunderstood form of mourning or grief, because years ago I remember giving some thought to, I think it was when Princess Diana died and the whole world went crazy mourning. Yeah. And on the news, somebody actually said the words that, why are people mourning so much over this person they never met? And I remember giving some thought to the idea that personalities, yourself, Reagan, and other personalities come into our homes. They're in our private space. And when that happens, we become attached to them. Whether it is in the form of a character or in the form of a news conference, we become attached to these people. And when they pass, we grieve. Yeah. And I think when you look at it, the same thing happens with our pets. We bring a pet into our home all around us. They are unconditionally loving. They're always there. We vent to them. We talk to them. We care for them. And then when they're gone, for some reason, the world doesn't see that that's a loss. The world kind of looks at you and goes, again, it's been a week. Can't you just get another dog? Well, no. This was a personification of something for me, and it's not. This is much better than Bugs Bunny or one of those cartoon personifications. This was a person to me in my life, and so it's important that we learn to accept people's grief for what it is. It's true grief.
Absolutely, it's called disenfranchised grief, and that's a term in the Dictionary of Psychology, and it's such a great term because it's just basically grief that's society or some semblance of society doesn't necessarily take seriously, and that could be divorce, that could be a job loss. It's just any kind of, if you're feeling a loss, it means you need to tend to it. And I know that when I lost Griffin and when I lost my dog this year, that was loss. That was hard, and I had to figure it out. And so and nobody can tell me that it wasn't. I remember going through it just with my dog just this year, just thinking I was so happy I wrote the book. This book is filled with pictures of. I have the book beside me, of course, always. But I have pictures of my sweet Jed also throughout this book. I went through it myself just to really get through the grief again, my own book. But I did it again because I knew I needed to navigate and figure out how I was feeling, because the world is so busy and crazy and you just don't have time to sit and do that. But, hopefully, you can dedicate 5 minutes a day, and it's so good for your mental health, and it makes you feel good to remember the good, and the book is, it sounds like it's such a sad book. And of course there are moments that people are crying in it. And I'm getting letters from people that of course they cry a little bit in it, but it's mostly about getting back to the good, because the end is so hard, and losing someone is so hard, but there's so much love in between of that, if we can get our minds rewired to remember all that great stuff in between, your heart feels healed a little bit.
That is, as they say, from the year you're born to the year you die, what really matters is that little dash in between, and it's important. That's right, and so that we remember that dash is important, guys. We have to take another break. When we come back, we're going to get a little bit more joyful here, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the book. We're also going to share with Reagan some of our pets, and give Reagan a chance to share with you her current pets and along the way. So when we come back, so stay tuned in and stay logged on. We'll be right back.
How you doing, everybody? This is KG Bethlehem. I'm an author of a new book called Certain Moments of Time. It's a collection of short stories. These short stories range from post-apocalyptic, dystopian, anti-utopia, as well as general fiction. You can find Certain Moments of Time on sale at Amazon.com, where you can purchase the ebook format as well as paperbook format. You can also purchase it at Lulu.com, paperbook format, and will be on sale soon at BarnesandNoble.com.
I'm GW Pomacher.
I'm Dina Marie.
I'm Sage Ia.
I'm Thomas Carter Rochester.
Hey, I'm David Thompson.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Mia.
Hi, I'm Mark.
Hey there, this is Dave Adams.
Hi, I'm Rosemary Rose.
Jerome Conner here.
Hey guys, it's Josh Bauer.
It's Willow Schuyler.
I'm Cosplay Michael.
Abba.
It's your boy Country.
I'm Ryan Permison.
And I'd like to ask you guys,
please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Please, please, please
subscribe.
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 Please subscribe to HWWS
Web TV.
Great bunch of people.
And don't forget to smash the bell.
Ring that bell.
Smash that bell.
Hit that bell.
Hit the bell to be notified.
Hit the bell to get notified of new shows
and videos.
You're going to want to do that, so do that soon.
So we can cross that 20,000 mark.
And get us to 100,000 subscribers.
To 1 million, and 10 million, and 100 million.
On HWWS.
Web TV.
You'll really like it. I guarantee it.
Thank you.
Join author Gary Zeiger for an animatic short film based on his breakaway Stingray novel series. Watch this animatic short based on the novel Stingray, You Can't Hide Forever at stingrayseries.com. In Stingray, You Can't Hide Forever, Captain Epsilon is putting the band back together to rescue his protege's little sister from the evil conglomerate, while keeping his state-of-the-art warship Stingray out of their hands. Watch as the adventure unfolds in the groundbreaking animatic short at stingrayseries.com. Then, join the crew of Stingray with the next novel in the series, Stingray Prophecy, where Captain Epsilon and Dr. Zubre are pivotal players in an ancient prophecy. Can they reunite the people of two worlds before they destroy each other? To learn more, visit stingrayseries.com.
All right, everybody, we're back. Welcome back to the Hangin' With Web Show. I'm GW Pomacher, and we are joined in the studio tonight by the Hangin' With Web Show's newest friend, actress, singer, and author, Reagan Pasternak. Wait, there you go. Hi, Reagan. Welcome back. We know how important the role of pets in your life has been.
Yes.
And what we wanted to do is give our Hangin' With Web Show, HWWS Web TV family of stars a chance to share with you some of our special friends and loved ones. And we're going to start with Reagan herself. Here's a great photograph that we found online. I'd like you to tell us a little bit about this. Tell us about this photo.
Oh my goodness, that makes me want to cry. That was when my son was born 9 years ago, because he is 9 years old. And oh no, I'm gonna cry because that's Jed up there who's passed away, who passed away this year, and actually Murmur passed away. That's the kitty cat.
Wow.
Who passed away also this year. It's been a hard year, and those two were just incredible souls, and my son's siblings since he was born, and they were just amazing and so good with my boy since from day one. So yeah, I miss them always.
It is so special, the bond that our pets form, especially with our children, because I know we had Ogre when Michael was in utero, and from the minute he was born, Ogre was right there next to him and sniff. I remember Michael being about 2 years old trying to ride Ogre. And poor Ogre obviously couldn't say anything, but he didn't even try to move. He just kind of was like, whatever, this is my boy, this is my person, and they can do whatever they want to. It was really amazing. So next up, we've already introduced you guys to the Hangin' With Web Show's traveling companion. This is Mushu. As you guys know, when Stephen Pomacher travels with us, he picks up heavy things and then he puts them down again. And while he's doing that, Mushu is apparently cosplaying as Harry Potter. So, so we have Mushu with us. This is from Willow's Pillow Talk. This is Twinkie and Simba. Twinkie and Simba from Willow's Pillow Talk. Willow Schuyler, thank you so much for sharing Twinkie and Simba with us. What else do we have? Oh, this is from Reels and Heels. This is Dingo. So hello, Dingo. And thank you, Reels and Heels. Oh, from Harlequin Arts Cosplay and Crafts, our one and only Amelia Poole. This is Growler. And now I want you all to imagine this. Amelia is a world-class cosplayer. She makes her own cosplays, her own armor. She does all of her own sewing. Look at his beak. That is a cosplayer's nightmare right there. But nonetheless, he is beloved by Amelia. Okay, this is from the main event. One of the ads that you saw. This is Mr. Wobbles up in Maine. And we've seen, if you guys are watching, you guys have seen Mr. Wobbles. He likes to walk across Kevin's desk and sit on his video mixer when he's trying to work. So that makes life really interesting. Okay, guys, from the Kitchen Killers, are the one and only Billy Floyd and the Commodore. This is Luke and Leia. And for those of you who watch on a regular basis, you see the Kitchen Killers is a touring acoustic duo, crashing kitchens around the country. And if you go to the Killers kitchen, you will be serenaded by Luke and Leia, who will sing in the background as the boys try to play. This is another Hanging with Web show, Pet. This is our daughter Briar's dog, Tamu. And Tamu was partially raised by our own Ogre. When Tamu was just a puppy, Ogre kind of showed him the ropes around the house. So, and this is Rosemary Rose. It figures from Saturday morning cartoons, we get another cat. This is Sneakers. That's right. This is Sneakers from Saturday morning cartoons, everybody. And what else do we have next? Oh, there is Ogre of the Forest. This is Ogre. This is our beloved that we had to say goodbye to a few years back.
Beautiful.
That face was always at the door every convention we ever returned from. He usually had another big surprise at the door also, because he didn't like it when we were gone. So he would wait until like 5 minutes before we got home, and somehow he knew. And there would be another surprise right at the door when we got here too. So, but this is Ogre, and that was his way of saying you guys have been gone too long. And then we have Reagan again, and this is the new one, right? This is a newer.
She's newer.
Stella?
Yeah, Stella. We've had Stella for about 3 years. She's a Great Pyrenees rescue, and she's incredible. Oh my gosh! And this is the craziest thing, that this dog, Stella, when Jed died, I put out a little, memorial for him, and I put a photo of him on the coffee table, and she went up and kissed that photo every day. And, she would just stare at the photo and kiss the photo and kiss the photo. And if my son was too crazy in the house running around, she'd take the photo and put it outside and just lie with it until he was done.
Oh,
so
wow.
Pretty crazy. I mean, it blew us away. I didn't even know she could see him in a photo. I mean, it was just bizarre, the whole thing. Yeah, amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
But, it goes to show, there's so much we don't know about our pets. And we know a little bit about the psychology. We know, they think up to a certain level of, like it's like a toddler level, the way that they perceive time and the way they perceive us, which explains why every time we leave, they wait, because we're Schrodinger's. We just became Schrodinger's cat. We left the door, and now they're just waiting for us to, be again. And so there's so much we don't know. But now you also have, I understand you have a new cat. You have Mr. Purr.
Oh, so I have right now, I'm actually in Mammoth right now. We're 4 hours north of Los Angeles where I live, but just on vacation. But at home we have 3 rescue cats. I have Dr. Purr, who's actually at the vet. He was pretty sick right before we left, but he's okay now. But Dr. Purr, and then we have 2 little tiny, beautiful kittens that I meant to foster. And of course, he's just hopeless. I just have no business fostering. It doesn't work for me. So we've kept them. They're koala and cub, and they're just gorgeous. They're on my Instagram all over the place if you want to see them. But
wow.
Yeah, and then we have another amazing dog named Luna, who's my son's precious rescue mutt. Who, yes, she follows him everywhere he goes, and she's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. So, guys, we've been talking with Reagan about her book, which is where's the book cover? Come on, let's do the book cover thing. Boom, where's it? There it is. Griffin's Heart. Griffin's Heart, Mourning Your Pet with No Apologies. Guys, this is more than a memoir. This is a way for you to kind of follow along and keep your own healing journal and have a keepsake and kind of see how Reagan made herself a memory book. This is the same as your scrapbook or anybody, this is a way for her to keep her memories alive. It's a way to help you keep your memories alive. So please check out Griffin's Heart. There's a link down there. There it is. Okay, good job. Look, they're so professional, these guys. They do stuff. Yeah, they do stuff that I don't even know how they're doing it. So
mind blown.
We're just gonna roll with it and pretend like we wanted to do that. So guys, we're gonna take our last commercial break, and when we come back, you guys in the chat room, we'll catch up with you, and hopefully, if you guys have questions or comments or anything for Reagan, please go ahead and start rolling those through the chat, and the girls will pick up one at a time, and we'll see if we can't get some of your comments on the screen, and we'll chat with Reagan some more. Remember those links, guys. We're going to put the links in the chat too, so that you've got those, so you can find Griffin's Heart on Amazon and all the places and all the things where you can find it. But until then, stay tuned in and stay logged on, and we'll be right back.
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night, and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live, and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night, we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you, the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world.
Reels and Heels is a podcast that discusses movies, television, wrestling, and more. With a rotating guest list of friends and filmmakers alike, Reels and Heels salutes the creative arts of all kinds. Join Brian Winzeloff and Nicole Jobin live every Saturday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Reels and Heels. J. Bauer Art has the graphic design skills you need to develop your next logo, and at an affordable price. But he's not just a one-trick pony. Follow J. Bauer Art on social media to interact during live paintings and see all of his previous artwork, which you can buy exclusively at jbauerartshop.com. Not only is he an artist, this beautiful son of a blue brings you the Back Talk with Bauer podcast every week with unique guests, and every month he hosts a special Back Talk with Friends episode that can only be described as chaotic and hilarious. Need a video intro or commercial? J. Bauer Art has you covered. For all of this and more, follow J. Bauer Art on social media. That's JBAUERART. Check out jbauerart.com for a full portfolio and jbauerartshop.com to buy that special painting for you and your loved ones.
Are you looking for a special friend? One who loves you unconditionally.
16,000 animals are euthanized every day. If we know that breeders and puppy mills are profiting while hurting our animals, we need to stop funding their business.
A live animal isn't a status symbol or a fashion statement. It's no longer cool to carry around your puppy in a pink purse. Invite love into your home by bringing new life to an animal in need.
This is an opportunity for you to be part of the greater good, to be part of the solution. We can't keep buying our dogs while thousands are waiting for us in shelters.
Team up with us and help spread the word that the coolest thing to do is rescue a life. Before you buy your next pet, please take a look around at your local shelter.
Please, stop buying animals. Be part of positive change. Adopt.
And we're back, everybody. We are here. Guys, welcome back to the Hangin' With Web Show. I'm GW Pomacher, and we are hanging out with actress, singer, and author Reagan Pasternak. We've had a great time for the last 3 segments talking about our pets and sharing Reagan's journey in her book. We want to give all you guys a chance this segment to go ahead and ask questions in the chat or to make comments or whatever you want to say. Reagan, you should definitely check out Kitty Bungalow Charm School for Wayward Cats.
Oh my gosh, I absolutely will. I'm going to write it down.
Kitty Bungalow Charm School for Wayward Cat. Really? That's a thing? There's a thing like that's wild. That's cool.
So sweet.
Thank you, Terry MacGyver, all the way from Ireland. Terry MacGyver. Okay, fantastic. So what else do we have in the chat there, guys? I can't necessarily see all of you in there. I want to say thanks for coming out and hanging out and sharing and doing all those things with Terry MacGyver, Kyle Nunez I saw in here earlier, Willow Schuyler, all of you from the chat. I'm trying to grab those names. They go fast. And I want to thank everybody during our ad segments. All of the ads that you guys have seen during the show tonight are either public service announcements or were created by independent creative producers or authors or musicians. These are all indies that we like to promote through the show. So support the arts community, please, and buy a book. Actually, buy this book. Wait, ready, go, do it, do the thing. Where are you guys? There it is. Buy this book right there. See, look down there. Buy a book, buy a CD, buy a download, a music download, or watch a film. And support our great arts and entertainment community. With Disney Plus bringing back some favorite shows, what do we got? This is Terry again. Continue, we should never see. Okay. In a heartbeat back on our screens. That's right, because it's Disney. So Disney Plus, you guys can do that. That's right. If you guys,
I would love that. I would love it.
Disney Plus, if you're listening, you've got a vault. Go into it. Take things out. We love it when you take things out of your vault. It's always fun. So Reagan, what's next for you? What's coming up for you? What's going on in your life? Are you working again now that COVID is starting to get a little bit?
Yeah. So I just finished a really hilarious reoccurring on a new show that comes out in August 12th, actually, on BET Plus. Not for kids. Okay, hear me out. This is not a Disney show, but it's called Miss Pat, and it's based on the comedian Miss Pat, who wrote the best-selling memoir last year called Rabbit, and she's just an inspirational, incredible, hilarious human being, and so I get to play this. I won't give it away, but I play a really funny character, and I loved working on that show. So that's August 12th. That's. And there's a bunch of stuff on the horizon, but that's what I'm the most excited about right now. Besides the book, I'm doing so much promotion for that too, and that's taking up so much of my time, and I love it. I'm loving talking to people about. Well,
that. And I was gonna say we've been seeing you on a ton of podcasts and web shows and doing a ton of promotion. Where's your next appearance from here? What is the next show? We'll give them a shout out.
I don't even know.
Oh wow!
it goes so fast. Yes. And I'm talking with just incredible people. And I feel like, I mean, so different from my acting is that I'm talking to people about something that means so much to me that I love acting. It's just so fun and great. But this is, I connect to animal lovers in such a different way. And I've just been loving having like real conversations about pet loss and how it actually impacts people and how to get through it. So I have actually been so fulfilled with that I'm just happy to keep going with it.
Yeah. Well, and it's easy with all of the web media that's out there right now. It's really easy to lose track of where you were, last week, this week, and where you're going next. But guys, what you can do is follow Reagan on all of her social medias, and you'll be able to find out where she's been and where she's going. You'll see some fantastic interviews. We caught some of those earlier, trying to stand out a little bit. We wanted to ask a little bit different questions and still tell the same story. But we checked out a bunch of interviews. You guys can check those out on Reagan's Facebook page and through links on her Instagram and Twitter. I think you're on Twitter too, right? Yeah.
I'm on Twitter. I'm terrible with Twitter, but I'm trying. The Instagram is kind of, Reagan J. Pasternak. You can, kind of keep up with me there. And then we've started a pet memorial. So if anybody wants to honor their pet with us, we're at Griffin's Heart Book and on Instagram.
That is fantastic. That is awesome. Yeah. And there you go. Share your journey of pet loss, Reagan's Facebook Griffin page. That's Griffin's Heart's Facebook page. Okay. Also, guys, check her out on Instagram, where you can also check out, by the way, thanks to Terry MacGyver, all the way from Ireland, who decided we had an Instagram account we weren't using. We had used it years and years ago. Terry took it over and turned it into the HWWS Web TV Pet Instagram account.
Oh my God.
Just coincidentally. So it's where you can go and you can see all the HWWS Web TV family of stars and their pets.
Yes.
Which is awesome. Yes. Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure that the pet pictures get more views than we do. It's just a thing. And I'm almost certain that social media is controlled by a cabal of kitty cats. I'm positive. I'm absolutely positive because they get like 1 million. I can interview like Spielberg and get 3 views. If you show a picture of a cat, 1 million views guaranteed. I don't know how it works, but it does. So awesome, guys! Thank you for hanging out with us today. Thank you, Reagan, for hanging out with us. So let's. I'm going to show a clip real quick. It's the short explainer from Reagan's social media on Griffin's Heart, and then on the other side of that, we'll talk for a few more minutes about Griffin's Heart, and then we'll let Reagan go and have the rest of her night where she can cuddle with her pets and not have to worry about us. So here we go. Let's play in Reagan's own words, sort of the Griffin's Heart mission.
I'm Reagan Pasternak. I am the author of Griffin's Heart, Mourning Your Pet with No Apologies. I started writing Griffin's Heart because after my own soulmate animal, Griffin, died, I was completely shattered and I just couldn't quite find the resources that I needed to heal. Griffin's Heart is more than a book. My story is definitely in there, but it is also an interactive grief guide. And it has places for photos and journaling and healing exercises. And my hope is that at the end of the book, you have your own story in there and you have your own tribute to your animal. So it's a keepsake. I would love to hear from you. I'm on Instagram at Reagan J. Pasternak. And we also have started a page at Griffin's Heart Book, where I will be collecting your stories and your tributes, eulogies, photos, anything that you want to share. And we can start a little community and have a collective memorial, if you will. I'm so looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you for listening, and let me know what you think of the book.
All right. Okay, so in that piece, you talked a little bit about the Facebook page that you set up, and
that was the Instagram one.
Oh, the Instagram one. Okay,
Yeah.
and the interaction with people out there online to kind of give you some feedback and talk to you about their memorials and their pets. What kind of response have you got, and how has that been for you?
It's it's been my favorite part. And it's one of those things that I'm so not a business minded person. Honestly, I'm just completely creative. And so I forgot how unbelievable humans are sometimes, and hearing from them about their animals, it's just been amazing and fulfilling, and it just keeps me so on purpose and grateful, honestly, in this whole part of my journey, this new part of my journey, and just hearing people's stories, and people are writing poems and sending me photos, and I am loving it. I am just so loving it. It just gives you kind of hope in humanity again, because you realize how vulnerable we all are and how much we need each other. And I'm loving that part of it.
Well, and and especially after the past year and a half or so, yes. I think it's easy on this side of the camera to forget that fans and readers and viewers are people, human beings, and they have stories, and they have loved ones, and they have families, and it is what you've done to create a community for those people to come together and share their stories is so important to keeping us all grounded over here, and reminding us that if you're an entertainer or an artist or a writer or a singer, you do what you do to touch the hearts and minds of human beings. And that feedback coming back to you is a way of showing not only that what you've done and created has had an impact, but of sharing the impact of other human beings on you, and hopefully making you a better human being in the process. So Reagan, that's awesome. That's an awesome thing that you've done in creating that community, and thank you for that. Guys, we're up against the hour. We've had a great time hanging out with Reagan and talking about Griffin's Heart. There it is, Griffin's. See, you're pretty good. You're actually you're learning stuff. She's learning. I don't even know how she does that anymore. But we've been talking about Griffin's Heart, Mourning Your Pet Without Apologies. The remainder of the title, which is all there on Amazon, you can find it at the link down below. It is her memoir. It's Reagan's memoir, but it's also a journal for you. It is a keepsake and it's got places where you can, again, interact and share your story and share your pet and share your journey. If with no one else, just to help you heal, and to find a center somewhere in your grief. So be sure to check that out on Amazon. There it is, Amazon link down below. Check that out. Reagan, thank you for hanging out with us for the last hour. It's been a lot of fun. Guys, check out that new BET coming up. What was the title on that, Reagan?
It's called Miss Pat. Miss Pat, not for the kiddos. Not for the kiddos.
Not for the kids. That's right. Leave the kids in the other room. But check out Miss Pat and check out Reagan's latest there. You can check out, go ahead and check out Reagan's IMDb page and go ahead and scroll all the way through that. She's been in everything you've ever loved. You just did. You might not know it. You might not have known it because she started when she was young and she's just been working her way through. And so check out those links. Besides, it's great when you do that because when you are on IMDb checking those things out, it drives that star meter and it helps the agent get her next job so that she can keep entertaining us for the next 20 years.
Okay, sure.
That's the way it works.
Sure.
We want her to keep coming back for more. So guys, check out and be sure and check out the way oh, there it is. They know how to do stuff back there. I don't know how to do that. I can read it. Reagan Pasternak IMDb right there. And I'm not going to go over all those numbers and letters things because no. Anyway, but guys, check out Reagan on IMDb and on the web. You can also go to reaganpasternak.com and keep up with all of those things and all those socials. In the meantime, guys, we're going to log off and let Reagan have the rest of her night. So you guys come back for more later on. Stay tuned in, stay logged on, and see who we're hanging with next.